Demonstrations continue against President Trump's refugee ban. A local task force hopes to see positive results in combating prostitution and human trafficking. And one of TV's most beloved actresses is remembered.
This is Valley View News.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Paulina Negretti.
And I'm Nick Torres.
Former President Obama has criticized President Trump for the first time. He denounced Trump's executive order banning refugees from 7 Middle Eastern countries from entering the U.S. Travelers could be held for 90 days. Obama says there shouldn't be discrimination based off religion.
Trump's travel ban led to thousands protesting at airports across the U.S., including LAX. Protesters here denounced Trump's presidency outside the Tom Bradley International Terminal. Travelers from the 7 countries in Trump's executive order were detained at LAX. Protesters chanted "No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all." Mayor Eric Garcetti says he embraces the democratic right of people to protest.
U.S. airlines are offering refunds to travelers from 7 countries affected by President Trump's executive order. The order bans citizens of Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen from entering the U.S. unless they have a green card. American, United, and Delta Airlines say they are complying with the order. American Airlines says it's treating all affected customers with respect. The airline is assisting them to rebooking options or a full refund. Travel service company Airbnb is offering free housing to refugees affected by the ban.
President Trump has signed 2 new executive orders, one ordering a border wall to be built, and the other strips federal funding from sanctuary cities. Yesenia Bergara reports Trump's efforts to fulfill campaign promises.
President Trump signed an executive order directing the Department of Homeland Security to begin building the Mexican border wall immediately. The wall could cost up to $38 million. Trump and Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto are battling over which country will pay for it. The executive order also includes an increase of Border Patrol agents and deportation of some undocumented immigrants. The other executive order would strip federal money from sanctuary cities that protect undocumented immigrants from deportation.
Governor Brown, along with Democratic mayors across the country, say they will fight the order and are confident in victory. They point out Supreme Court cases that have made it difficult for Washington to take away funding from state and local government.
Political science assistant professor Tyler Hughes explains what might happen after the executive order to strip federal funding from sanctuary cities.
It's going to come down to very important things that, like government funding that affects our day-to-day lives as citizens of LA and citizens of California, or very long legal battles that won't be settled for a number of years. So it's going to be an interesting 4 years at least.
Hughes also says that a large amount of state and local budgets are made up of federal grants. And if taken away, lawmakers have to find another way for funding. In Northridge, this is Yesenia Burgara, Valley View News.
Human trafficking is spreading throughout the San Fernando Valley, as Caroline Hogikian reports.
The intersection of Sepulveda Boulevard and Valerio Street is infamous in Van Nuys. It's home to prostitution and human trafficking in the San Fernando Valley. Councilwoman Nuri Martinez aims to protect young children and teens from traffickers.
The age of these girls has gotten younger and younger and younger. A lot of these kids come out of the foster care system, so they have been passed around numerous times. When you are 12 years old and you are being trafficked by grown men who are most likely gang members and are profiting from a 12-year-old being trafficked in these neighborhoods, that's just simply not okay.
A study on infrastructure by CSUN professor Dr. Henrik Manassians helped the city tackle the problem.
The study looks at what characteristics of the built environment attracts and generates this type of activity. Let's say there are huge canopy trees blocking the lights, or do they hang out at certain parts of the street?
These recommendations have also helped with arrests, according to the LAPD.
Our role in law enforcement is to arrest pimps and move toward prosecution to get them significant sentences, to keep them off the street for decades.
But the police say help from residents is vital.
I asked the neighborhoods, if we want safe neighborhoods overall, we have to act together to do that. So us together with these partnerships, we can lower crime in these neighborhoods with minimal funding to do it.
The LAPD also set up an online tip service to report crimes in your area. City projects to prevent human trafficking have already begun with small tasks such as trimming trees to make streets more visible. I'm Caroline Hogikian with Valley View News.
Heavy rains pummeled Southern California last month. One of the most hard-hit areas was the city of Duarte. Valley View News reporter Josue Brand has more on the story.
With a shovel and a wagon, Richard Walker removed the accumulated mud left in the courtyard of his house caused by the heavy rainstorm. His home was among one of the many affected areas in Duarte that the storm damaged. Walker says the city alerted him and was prepared for the worst.
We didn't know how powerful it would be. And about 3 or 4 feet of mud came down the street and came right up our driveway and deposited in our driveway, but did not get into our house or our garage. So we were okay.
Although most residents like Walker were prepared, the city suffered widespread damages that would take days to clean up. I am cleaning the flashes that happened last week, and we expected to finish 2 to 3 days. Smart slides cover a number of residential homes. In addition, Valley View Elementary School was closed for 4 days. Los Angeles Fire Department spokesman David Ortiz said some of the damages were severe.
The city was hit hard with flooding, mud flow, fallen trees, transformer fires. Among those 172 incidents, we also had 20,000 outages that the Department of Water and Power reported.
The fire department is maintaining the city under alert with procedure to take with the heavy rain. In Duarte, Josue Brand, Valley View News.
After decades of legal battles, the Santa Monica Airport is closing down in 2028. The city of Santa Monica has tried for years to close the airport due to safety and noise complaints. The new agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration allows the city to replace a 227-acre lot with a park and recreational facilities. The terms of the agreement immediately allow the city to reduce the size of the runway to 3,500 feet, limiting jet traffic and charter operations. But the airport will be operational until 2023. Critics say the closing opens the door for future development in Santa Monica.
President Trump has signed executive orders to continue construction on both the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines. The Dakota Access pipeline will cost more than $3 billion and stretch more than 1,200 miles crossing 4 states. The $8 billion Keystone XL pipeline starts in Canada and crosses more than 6 states, carrying more than 800,000 barrels of carbon-heavy petroleum a day. Activists march in protest against President Trump's order. The Standing Rock Sioux Nation says construction will destroy sacred burial lands and infect their main source of water. Pipeline supporters say they could help reduce American dependence on foreign fuel and create thousands of jobs. Professor Lorraine Lundquist from CSUN's Institute of Sustainability says both pipelines will have a negative effect on the environment.
Right now, we are at a very clear turning point where we have to reduce our fossil fuel use, and that is proceeding really quite rapidly. Renewable energy sources and electric cars and many other clean energy technologies are doing fabulously and growing by leaps and bounds. And we need that process to continue, and we need to reduce our fossil fuel use. And building brand new pipeline infrastructure is something that makes that transition to clean energy harder.
We will have Cheyenne's full interview in our other half of the show. When we come back, for healthy living and in sports, a look at CSUN's top basketball player.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Did you make the transfer to Hong Kong for the Emerson project?
I was just about to, but did you see the boss's email? It doesn't look right.
It looked fine to me.
I don't remember him mentioning the Emerson project at our last meeting.
The bank in Hong Kong closes in 15 minutes. Make the transfer.
Yes, sir. It's on the way.
Mr. Jacobs, just transferred the money for the Emerson project.
What Emerson project?
Don't be that guy. Trust but verify.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
The California Public Utilities Commission is considering a new investigation into the reopening of the Aliso Canyon National Gas Storage Facility. The two-phase investigation will determine if the facility can either reduce its output or be eliminated completely. The nation's largest natural gas leak forced residents from the area to relocate temporarily early last year. Southern California Gas reopened the facility last week for the first time in about a year. Company officials say they needed the withdrawal natural gas due to the cold weather. Critics say it was an excuse to go around state regulations and allow the utility to resume operations. The PUC will start hearings on a possible investigation this month.
Experts say healthy living when you're older starts with creating good habits in your 20s by exercising and eating right. Kielani Sarmiento has the habits you need to know.
Too many students eat fast food, but there's a healthier way to live. CSUN student Alana Harris buys a surplus of groceries and cooks and packages healthy meals.
I think meal prepping is a great way for someone to live a healthy lifestyle if they don't have time.
Gym trainer Spencer Shute weighs in and says that simple habits like cutting back on sugar, maintaining physical activity, and moderating alcohol consumption can have long-term benefits.
So you have a nice car, let's say a Ferrari, Lamborghini, right? Are you gonna put cheap fuel, cheap oil inside of that? How long is it gonna last you, right? Same idea, except your body is a little bit more important in my opinion.
Studies say 90% of 20-year-olds don't eat enough fruits and veggies, at least 5 servings a day. Health professor Kaylin Barr says exercising and nutrition can lower health risks.
Getting in an early habit of limiting, things like foods that are high in saturated fats, and limiting, things like soda consumption and things like that. Increasing vegetables, fruits consumption, things that are rich in a lot of those substances that we know the body likes to have and can limit health risks later on, can be really important.
Experts recommend working out at least 2.5 hours a week, but studies say 60% of college students don't. Don't have a gym membership? Don't sweat it. Millennials are finding ways to stay in shape, from watching YouTube workout tutorials to doing an Instagram 30-day squat challenge.
CSUN student Aubriana Butler says that working out every day has become a habit.
If it's just 20 minutes a day or up to an hour, you know, running, walking, yoga, I love doing that, but I also love riding the bike, and those are just things that help really get me going physically.
The CDC says heart disease is the #1 killer among women, and the illness is starting in their 20s. 1 out of 3 college women are either overweight or obese. CSUN's Michael Niles didn't want to give his age, but he's at least twice as old as the average college student.
Some people get to my age and they're having a harder time getting around. Just walking can be a struggle. But being active throughout my life and eating pretty well, I think, is part of it. And I think also think sometimes you just get lucky.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but so does eating healthy and working out. Now's the time to start working on that summer body and a lifetime of fitness. So work out, eat right, and drink water. In Northridge, I'm Kehlani Sarmiento for Valley View News.
Now to Kendall Faulkner with the latest in sports.
Thank you, Paulina. The CSUN's men's basketball team has won an important game against UC Riverside. Junior forward Tavrion Dawson scored 22 points and grabbed 12 rebounds. The Matadors won 63-59. They return home tonight at 7:30 against Hawaii. Kendall Smith has led the Matadors basketball team to back-to-back victories. Valley View News reporter Eric Kabak caught up with the junior point guard.
Kendall Smith from the Bay Area. Played a point guard position.
Point guard Kendall Smith has become the Matadors' best player this season. Smith was born 21 years ago in San Francisco. He attended Deer Valley High School in Antioch, where he was ranked by ESPN as a 4-star recruit and top 100 player. After being highly recruited, Smith decided to sign with the UNLV Rebels during his senior year of high school.
I kind of narrowed my list down to like 3 schools. It was UConn, UCLA, and UNLV. Obviously, UNLV I felt at the time was the best fit for me.
In his freshman year at UNLV, Smith played 31 games and started 13 of them, averaging 3.8 points and 1.5 assists per game. Smith only played 2 games the following season at UNLV, then decided to transfer to Cal State University Northridge.
You know, it's just the fit wasn't the right fit for me at the time. You know, the coaches and everybody there were great. You know, the players were great, the fans, everything was great. But you know, just for myself and you know my individual growth, you know, I thought that I might find somewhere else.
Smith was granted a red shirt that year by the NCAA. Kendall Smith is now a redshirt junior at CSUN and is leading the Matadors in points, assists, and 3-pointers made this season.
You know, just coming in every day ready to work. You know, all those accolades, they come when you work hard, and you know, I try not to really think about it too much or focus on, you know, where I'm leading or anything like that. So I want to come in every day with a great attitude and, you know, just be here for my teammates when they need me.
Smith and his teammates are being led by a very high-profile coach in Reggie Theus. Theus was a 2-time All-Star in his 13 years in the NBA as a player. He also coached professionally for the Sacramento Kings and worked in the media for many years.
It's an experience that, you know, not too many players get in college basketball, you know, being that, you know, he played in the NBA, coached in the NBA, has been around the media for so long. You know, it's just a lot that, you know, I can take from him, you know, not just from, you know, a player standpoint, but, you know, from a person also.
The Matadors are currently 4th in the Big West with a 5-3 record in the conference and are 9-12 overall.
Kendall Smith is currently averaging 16 points per game and 5 assists per game, which leads the Matadors. He led the Matadors to a win this past Saturday on the road against UC Riverside. For Valley View News, I'm Eric Kabak.
The Clippers have been talking to the New York Knicks about possibly trading for Carmelo Anthony. The New York Times reports that the Knicks started the calls for a trade, but the Clippers will not include DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, or J.J. Redick in their deal. 2 names that are being brought up are Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford. That's it for sports. Back to you.
When we come back, we'll talk about diversity at Oscars and a tribute to Mary Tyler Moore.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Patriotism.
It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love, love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Mommy, I don't feel so well.
Okay, you wouldn't give yourself or your loved one poison, would you? Then why would you take or give counterfeit medications that may contain the wrong or no active ingredient? Counterfeit medications are out there. They can be ineffective and harmful to your health. Be a smart consumer and know your pharmacy, especially if you're purchasing medication online.
Ms. Stevens, I just wiped malware off our system. People have got to stop clicking unsolicited email links and downloading free software unless it's from a trusted source.
Sounds great.
We need a data backup plan in a separate location in case we get hacked.
We need to focus on making profits, not spending them.
Learn to protect yourself from ransomware. If you become a victim, contact your local FBI office.
Drop that baby.
Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Programs offers low-income families and individuals free aid with state and federal tax preparation. The program will start February 9th and continue through March 28th at various locations throughout the San Fernando Valley. More than 200 CSUN students volunteers have completed intensive training to handle federal and state tax returns. CSUN's Tax Assistant Programs has previously helped file 5,000 tax forms, saving participants more than $2 million in tax preparation fees and refundable credits. Among the diverse languages that the program's students speak are Spanish, Armenian, and Russian.
Now we go to Grecia Lopez with the latest on entertainment.
Thank you, Nick. Well, critics complained last year about the lack of diversity in Oscar nominations, but #OscarSoWhite won't be trending this year. Valley View's Ashley LaRue reports on the Oscar nominations that were both diverse and historic.
Actress Viola Davis became the first African-American woman to receive 3 Oscar nominations. Last year, there were no African-American nominations. But this year, Denzel Washington and Octavia Spencer were among 7 African-Americans nominated. Teresa White is the CSUN's Department Chair of Africana Studies.
Cheryl Isaac Boone, the president of the Academy, she set a new foundation last year, and they changed and increased the diversity in the membership of the voting members. So that makes a huge difference. So she responded to the first year of #SoWhite and putting that in place. And she has a program, I believe, a 10-year mission to really diversify the Academy.
Another record breaker was La La Land with 14 nominations, including Best Picture. This is the most nominations since Titanic and All About Eve. Fences, Hidden Figures, and Moonlight are against La La Land for Best Picture. La La Land and the other films failed to reach the $100 million mark at the box office. But money isn't everything, according to Directors Guild member Diana Winter.
Those movies may get nominated, say, in People's Choice Awards, but in terms of what makes a film artistic, I mean, all of the academies, they're made up of artists. So they want to see the best performance win. They're going to look for those nuanced performances.
The 89th Academy Awards will be held here at the Dolby Theater. It will air on ABC February 26th. In Hollywood, reporting with Valley View News, I'm Ashley LaRue.
The SAG Awards brought together the biggest TV and movie stars for a night of awards and celebration. One of the big winners was the Netflix series Stranger Things. The cast took the win for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. Actor David Harbour, who plays Police Chief Jim Hopper, received a standing ovation for his passionate speech that pled a call to action.
We will get past the lies. We will hunt monsters. And when we are at a loss amidst the hypocrisy and the casual violence of certain individuals and institutions, we will, as per Chief Jim Hopper, punch some people in the face.
Other winners of the night included Emma Stone for her performance in La La Land, while Denzel Washington beat out frontrunners Ryan Gosling and Casey Affleck for his role in Fences. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay is expanding his network with the new show. The British television star has signed a 3-program deal with British network ITV. Ramsay will host a food game show where 9 amateur cooks compete for a cash prize. He will also host a new late-night entertainment series called The Nightly Show. These new series will mark his return to ITV, where his hit show Hell's Kitchen launched a decade ago. That's all for entertainment. Now back to you.
Mary Tyler Moore died last month. As Valley View's Zayel Allen discovered, the legendary actress learned how to play her most endearing roles from an LA TV news legend.
Mary Tyler Moore got her first big break as Laura Petrie on The Dick Van Dyke Show in the 60s. Then came Mary Richards on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. For 1 month in the late 1960s, Moore shadowed Pete Noyes in the Channel 2 newsroom and learned the news business. Noyes was unable to appear on camera. We spoke with him over the phone.
She was really, a beautiful young woman, full of energy and life, and she was very observant of the whole process, the news process. She would spend time with me, then she would spend time at the assignment desk with Bob Long.
Moore's role had a dramatic impact on the field of television journalism.
I think a lot of people were surprised to see that women could and would play an important role in television news. She broke ground for women journalists throughout the country.
In the past few years, Moore had guest starred on shows like Hot in Cleveland and Lipstick Jungle. She received the SAG Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012. Moore was also very open about her struggle with alcoholism. She also served as chairwoman of the Diabetes Research Foundation and spoke about her own battle with type 1 diabetes. Noyes, like most who knew her, remembers her fondly.
Mega talented would be the case. I mean, she could dance, she could sing, she could do just about everything that could be asked for. But then when she came to playing a reporter, she really carried out the role.
The station manager ought to trust my judgment. I mean, I am the associate producer on the show.
This is Yael Allen in Northridge for Valley View News.
Thank you for watching Valley View News. I'm Paulina Negretti.
And I'm Nick Torres.
Please join us for the next edition of Valley View News.